Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Pauline Verzosa.
Bilang Pilipino, bilang Pilipino.
Today is day 3 of the filing of Certificate of Candidacy for the 2025 midterm elections. And now let's get some updates from the ground from our mobile journalist Amy Atienza, who joins us live from the Tent City in Manila Hotel. Amy, good morning. What's the latest situation there? Amy? All right, Amy, we'll have to double check your audio. I think you're on mute, but we'll get that checked. All right, Amy, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Amy.
Yes, Pauline, kaninang 7:30 nandito na tayo sa Manila Hotel, Tent City. At makikita natin na medyo kalmado pa yung sitwasyon. Pero unti-unti nang dumadagsang ilang mga supporters ng FPJ Panday Bayanihan Party List. Sila pa lang yung mga crowd ngayon dito sa labas ng Manila Hotel City at meron pa rin tayong aabangan na mga supporters pa, pero titingnan natin yan sa mga susunod na oras. Pero balikan nga din natin muna kung ano nga yung nangyari kahapon dito sa Manila Hotel Tent City. Nakita natin si Senator Amy Marcos, kasama na rin dyan. Kasama niya yung ina niya na si Imelda Marcos, pati yung dalawa niyang anak na si Michael at si Borgie. Pamilyar na mukha din sa Senado ang nag-file kahapon ng sabay-sabay na sina former Senators Tito Soto, Ping Lacson at si Senator Lito Lapid. At yun, naghain na din sila ng ilang sa kanilang mga plataforma at plano para sa pagpapatuloy ng kanilang seat dito sa Senado. At yun nga, nakita din natin kahapon isang big surprise nga itong si Diwata Pares o si Dio Balbuena. Sumama siya as fourth nominee naman ng vendors party list. Pero yun muna sa ngayon, Paulina, no?
Okay, Amy, how about for today? Ikatlong araw na nga ng filing of COC. May ilang bang mga pangalan na dapat nating abangan?
Sa ngayon wala tayong klarong pangalan kung sino ang aabangan, pero simula kahapon ay inaabangan na ng marami. Kung magpa-file na nga ba si Doc Willie Ong, kasi nga sa naging anunsyo na niya noong nakaraang araw, October 2 daw siya magpa-file. Pero kahapon hindi na siya nagpakita, kaya ngayon titingnan natin, abangan natin kung magpa-file na siya ngayong araw. Pero bukod dyan, syempre abangan din natin yung 7 remaining members nga nung admin slate na ipiniresenta noong nakaraang linggo ng administrasyon. Kasama na dyan si Manny Pacquiao, si Pia Cayetano, pati si Abby Binay. Kaya dito ngayon sa day 3, nakaabang pa rin talaga ang marami.
Okay, Amy, pagdating naman na sa filing ng COC, may na-encounter ba na mga challenges ang COMELEC sa pag-file dyan, or so far, so good?
Mula sa press ko na ginanap na kagabi, sabi din naman ni COMELEC Chairperson George Garcia na wala naman daw anomalya kahit saan. Meron lang daw isang probinsya sa South kahapon sa Mindanao na nagkaroon ng power outage, pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman daw ang nangyaring filing ng COC ng mga kakandidato doon.
All right, thank you very much for that update. That was our mobile journalist, Amy Atienza. More local politicians also filed their certificates of candidacy for the 2025 polls. Incumbent Caloocan City Mayor Along Malapitan filed his COC yesterday. He was joined by his family and running mate Vice Mayor Ana Karina Telibsico and other members of their slate. Malapitan will be running against former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV.
Siyempre, lagi naman pag may kalabang ka, laging may challenge yun, di ba? Pero okay lang, at least magkakaroon din ng mga choices ang mga taga-Caloocan.
Sir, baka meron kayo sa kanya, message sa kanya?
Wala.
Other aspiring local candidates have also filed their candidacies, and among them was former TV reporter Dolan Castro, who will be running as councilor in the 1st District of Quezon City.
Nabigo man tayo nung una pero hindi tayo huminto. Nabigo tayo nung una pero hindi tayo sumuko. Nabigo tayo pero higit sa lahat po, hindi tayo nagtago. Kaya po wala pa tayo sa pwesto pero tuloy po ang ating serbisyo. Tayo naniniwala na yung ating advocacy at mga programa na sinulong, lalo na sa mga senior citizen, mga PWD, mga solo parents, sa mga kabataan ay talaga namang nagtuloy-tuloy tayo at hindi tayo tumigil.
Now, so far, there is only one mayoral candidate in the controversial town of Bamban, Tarlac. But since it's Miss Mayor Alice Guo's cases have no final decision yet, is she going to attempt to reclaim her position? Brian Basa has that report.
The ombudsman made it clear Alice Guo committed grave misconduct That kicked her out of office as mayor of Bamban, Tarlac. But without a final decision by the Supreme Court, she can run again. Solicitor General Menardo Guevara said in an interview with Storycon that none of the cases against Guo, including the ombudsman's decision dismissing her from service, has attained finality. The same is true for the other cases filed against her, including the Quo Warranto and the petition for the cancellation of Guo's birth certificate. And even if these cases have been decided against Guo, appeals often delay the final verdict. Now the question is, will she give it to Guo this midterm election? Her lawyer says she will decide this week. In Bamban so far, there's only one mayoralty bet, Joey Salting, who heads the largest barangay in that town. This is his second attempt at the seat after losing to Guo in 2022 by a mere 468 votes. Salting will be running under the Nationalist People's Coalition. His running mate is suspended Councilor number 2, Jaji Sales, and the tandem has nothing but kind words for Guo while keeping distance from the Pogo fiasco.
Napakasipag niya at napaka-supportive. Sa problema niya, wala kaming alam doon. Kung nga po, 10 years na akong barangay captain dito pero hindi kami nakapasok sa Pogo. Lahat po kaming nanunungkulan dito, wala po kaming alam sa Pogo.
Maganda po ang ginawa ni Mayor Alice. No doubt po yan, maganda po. Pero yung pong sa mga kontrobersiya, let the court decide na lang po. Mas gusto ko nasa kay Tito Joey. At kay Tito Joey Salting, nasa kanya ang kauunlad ng bayan ng Bamban.
Some 30 kilometers away from Bamban is the town of Porac in Pampanga. What was once a quiet town rose to fame for housing the country's biggest pogo hub. But still, some residents are not feeling any financial gain from it. That's why they still depend on handouts from local officials. And this mindset they intend to carry come decision day.
Yung gusto ko pong iboto sa Mayo, yung malalapitan. Yung hindi ka mahihirapan pag linapitan mo. Yung makakatulong sa mahihirap. Yun lang pong gusto kong, yung pag may nanalo, yung matutulungan niya yung ibang tao, hindi yung pag nanalo na, hindi ka na kilala.
Ang pinakaayaw ko po sa mga binoboto natin, yung lalapitan mo, emergency, tuturo ka sa iba, pumunta ka sa ganito, sasabihin niyang ganun sa'yo. Tapos, pupuntahan mo yung tinuro niya, ililipat ka na naman sa iba. O halimbawa po, emergency, namamatay na yung nilalapit mo sa kanila para tulungan. Mamamatay na bago ka matulungan, di ba?
There are two mayoralty candidates in Porac at the moment. There's lawyer and former Vice Mayor Charlie Santos and former Councilor Mike Tapang, who was seen with businessman and reputed political kingmaker Bong Pineda. Incumbent Mayor Jaime Capil, who is under scrutiny for alleged links to Pogo, will be making his re-election bid on Thursday. In Porac, Pampanga, for News 5, I'm Brian Basa, and we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other headlines. Some lawmakers urge the Justice Department to file murder charges against the two alleged masterminds in the killing of PCSO Board Secretary Wesley Barayuga. Retired police colonels Reina Garma and Edilberto Leonardo were implicated in the crime. They are two of the closest and most trusted aides of former President Rodrigo Duterte. And in business world, the International Monetary Fund trimmed its economic growth forecasts for the Philippines. It cut the country's gross domestic product outlook for this year to 5.8% from 6% previously. It also now sees GDP expanding by 6.1% in 2025, a tad lower than the previous forecast of 6.2%. Napataas ang kilay ng mga mahilig mag-online shopping at streaming services matapos isabatas ang pagdadagdag ng VAT sa foreign digital service providers. Pero tataas nga ba ang singil sa mga digital services tulad ng streaming? Para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal, Julie Baiza.
Ganap ng batas ang pagpapataw ng value-added tax o VAT sa digital services sa bansa. Sa isang seremonya sa Malacanang, nilagdaan ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ang Republic Act 12023 o VAT on Digital Services Law. Sa ilalim nito, papatawan ng 12% VAT ang non-residential o international companies na nagbibigay ng digital services para sa movies, music, videos and games, online advertising at maging e-marketplaces. Halimbawa nga nito ang streaming platforms na Netflix at Disney+, search engine na Google at online shopping tulad ng Lazada at Shopee.
With this law, we say that if your presence in the Philippine market is as real as your profits, then your tax responsibility should also be equally tangible.
May exempted naman sa batas tulad ng mga digital services na may kaugnayan sa edukasyon.
Sparing educational and public interest services from its coverage. Online courses, webinars, and other digital educational offerings are not subject to VAT in order to keep education affordable and accessible to all Filipinos.
Sa susunod na 5 taon, aabot daw sa 105 bilyong pisong buwis ang inaasahang makukolekta mula rito. Ayon sa Pangulo, magagamit ito sa pagpapatayo ng classrooms, rural health units, at farm-to-market roads. Alinsunod sa batas, 5% rin ng revenue ang ilalaan sa creative services. Sabi naman ng Bureau of Internal Revenue, walang dapat ipangamba ang mga subscriber ng digital services.
Hindi naman natin ine-expect na magiging malaki ang pagtaas ng presyo nito kung magkakaroon man. And ang tinitingnan natin, baka naman posible rin, malaki rin naman ang chance na hindi rin naman magtaas ang presyo ng mga produktong ito.
Pangako ng BIR, mahigpit nilang ipatutupad ang Digital Services VAT at tututukan ang pagbabayad ng buwis ng International Digital Services Provider. Mobile Journal Julie Baiza po, hatid ang muka ng balita.
And now for the latest in sports, the UP Fighting Maroons remain undefeated in UAAP Season 87 after taking down the USC Growling Tigers yesterday. Now, USC was leading the first half of the game, but UP shifted gears and never looked back. Final score here is 81-70. Harold Alarcon led UP with 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. The Fighting Maroons are now just 1 win away from a clean sweep of the first round. And in another match, the UE Red Warriors snapped their first win against the Ateneo Blue Eagles in 9 years. The Blue Eagles were initially leading until Rain Maga sank a triple and gave UE the lead. The final score there, 69-62. Precious Momoe was UE's top scorer with 18 points and 15 rebounds. And the Golden Boy Carlos Yulo has joined the reserve force of the Philippine Navy. Carlos was inducted into the Philippine Navy Reserve Force as Petty Officer First Class. During his induction, Carlos expressed how proud he is to have the privilege of being enlisted in the Philippine Navy. Now, this comes after Yulo brought home 2 historic gold medals from the Paris Olympics. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Pauline Berzosa. We are One News.